Hello. So I wanted to show you how I use an app called Poke Genie to organize my Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Now, let me just show you inside my Pokemon bag. Hold on a second. Okay, so you can see here that I've been writing the IVs of the Pokemon in front of their name, and I've been doing this for a really long time. Um, the reason that I put it at, the reason that I lay it out like this is that you can see very, very clearly without going in and using the appraisal a few details about your Pokemon. So I've put the IV first, followed by the name, and then I put the gender at the end of the name. And because of this, I can very, very quickly see how many I've got of each type. So the way that I play Pokemon Go is that I would like to get let's have a look at my Mistrevises here. Um, I try to collect a male and a female version of each Pokemon. If there's any with like hats or special costumes, I would like to have one of each of those. I like to keep one Shadow Pokemon and one Purified Pokemon of each gender as well. So what I used to do when I first started playing was that I would manually calculate the IVs for each Pokemon, and then I would, edit the name myself. Um, but then I found an app called Poke Genie that is really good at doing this for you. So let me just show you how this works. So here is my Mischievous, and you can tell, I've put a star on this so that you can see that this is one of my favorites. So if I go into the appraisal screen here, now I'll just show you the way that I used to do it. I used to calculate it on the computer, and then I would just go into the name and I would type in whatever the IV is. I'm using the Google keyboard here, so if you hold down the number keys, you can actually get superscript numbers, which I think just looks a little better. But let me show you how this works with Poke Genie. So if I hit the appraisal screen, and you can see here it's a 3-star Mischievous, and if I tap on Poke Genie, it tells me a little bit more about this one. So it tells me it's got a great IV. Um, it also tells me that if I evolve this Pokemon, that it would have a 98.5% PvP IV for Great League. So what that means is that because Great League and Ultra League have CP limits on them, so it's either 1500 for Great League or 2500 for Ultra League. Having the highest IV Pokemon doesn't always mean that they are the best Pokemon for PvP. Um, so Pokegenie will calculate, based on your potential for powering up this Pokemon, how useful it will be for PvP. And this one will be quite useful. So now that I've scanned that, if I go into the edit screen, you'll notice here in my clipboard, the name has been edited. So this Mischievous, I can tell from the new name that, oh, hold on a second. I can tell from the new name that this one has an IV of 87, that it's a male Mischievous, and that if I want to use this in Ultra League, I could potentially have a PvP IV of 98. Um, Again, I would have to evolve this Mischievous and power it up to get that, but I think that's pretty useful. Let me just try another one. So this is a female Mischievous. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to scan it in Poke Genie. Okay. And that takes literally 2 seconds. Um, it is really quick for me to get a more detailed appraisal of the Pokemon. And then you can quite quickly decide whether or not you want to keep this Pokemon. Let me just have another look at the appraisal screen here. Now, hold on a second. I'm just going to scroll this down so that you can see the attacks. If I scan this again, it also takes into account the quick attack and the charged attack, and it will calculate, whether or not this is a good Pokemon to either use when attacking or when defending gyms. And there is a calculator here. So let me just have a look at the Moveset Ratings. So if I look at this calculator, it tells me that, now what was I using? Hold on a second. Let me just get back into Pokemon Go. Okay then, so I have Astonish and Shadow Sneak here. But if I jump into Poke Genie, it tells me that Astonish is fine. If I use Astonish, I will get quite a good rating for my attack, but Hex would be a better one to use. It also tells me that if I want to use this Pokemon to attack, I might want to use Ominous Wind or Dark Pulse. If you look on the defense screen, you can see that Dark Pulse would be quite good if I wanted to use this Pokemon to defend a gym. So what I can do, and I'm not going to do this with Mischievous because I haven't evolved this one yet, but what I could do, hold on a second, I can use either an Elite TM or an Elite Charge TM to see what moves I would have available to me. So I can see here that I could get either Dark Pulse or Ominous Wind in addition to Shadow Sneak here. Because Poke Genie tells me that if I'm defending the gym, it tells me that Dark Pulse would be the better move to have. I would use a normal TM. I'm going to do this, hold on a second. Now which one should I try? Okay, I'm going to try this on a different Pokemon. I'm going to try it for this one. So this one has an IV of 96. Okay. And, you know, you can tell from Poke Genie again that it wouldn't be great for Great League, but it's fine. It has a PvP IV of 91.3. But let me just have a look here at the attacks that I've got. So I've got Hex and Dazzling Gleam, both of which give me a B for attack and a B for defense. And I'm going to jump back into Poke Genie again and see what that moveset rating looks like. It tells me that Hex is pretty good as my quick attack, but that Shadow Ball would make a better charge attack if I were defending a gym. So let me just come out from here. So really what I want is Hex and Shadow Ball. So let me just go back to Pokemon Go. So I've already got Hex. If I go into look at my Elite Charge TM, it tells me that I can get Shadow Ball as well as Dark Pulse. Now, I'm not going to use the Elite TM here. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use the much cheaper normal TM. And 1, 2, 3. We've now learnt Shadow Ball. And with Shadow Ball, this Pokemon is now much better than it was. I now have an A for defense and an A for attack. And I don't know how accurate Poke Genie is when it calculates, you know, how good these different movesets are. But it knows a lot more than I do. So I kind of trust it here. Now, what I would do is, if there was another charged attack that is better for attacking, I could add that as a second attack. So here you've got Dazzling Gleam, which would be fine as a second charged attack. And I would make sure that's my second one. So whatever move it says is better for defense, I would use as my first charged attack. And then if I wanted to add another one, I'd add it as a second charged attack. So this is, you know, really useful. But there's a new function in here right now, which they call IVision, that I wanted to show you. Okay, IVision is now turned on. Let me just jump back in. And I think I have to long press on this little overlay here to start IVision. Okay, so IVision works a little bit differently. Okay, here's my Mischievous. And you can see this little tiny pop-up here. You might not be able to see it very clearly. But Poke Genie, without me copying or doing anything, it has already scanned this Pokemon, and it's already given me an IV range for it. Now, the IV range, I'm not sure whether you can see it, is between 64 and 78%. That is because it hasn't scanned the full appraisal screen yet. So it needs a little bit more data to know exactly what's going on with your Pokemon. Um, so now this has been scanned, and it tells me that even though it only has an IV of 76%, and if I saw that, I would probably, without having Poke Genie, I might have deleted it. But it tells me that for Great League, I have a PvP IV of 97.4%. So I haven't touched anything. This has automatically scanned my Mischievous, and it has automatically copied, sorry, it has automatically copied the new information into my clipboard. So I can just paste that in straight away. And let me just show you. So that's my first Mischievous there. If I scroll across to the second one, oh, is that one 76 as well? Let me just try it again. Okay, it looks like you have to be a little bit more careful. If you just scroll from side to side, it might not realize that you're looking at a new Pokemon. So you might want to come out of the appraisal screen and then let it scan the Pokemon first, and then go in and get your Poke Genie scan that way. So yeah, this Mischievous is a 64%. And normally if you see a Pokemon with a really high stamina rating and a low attack rating, it could be more suitable for PvP. In this case, it's a little bit more suitable, but it's still not great. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And there we go. I have renamed my Pokemon. Now, you can see here, so if I sort these by number, you can see quite easily a little bit of information about each one. So I can see clearly here, so my first Mischievous here is an 87, female, and probably not suitable for PvP. The second one and the third one are, so I don't want to delete those. But watch this. If I sort my Pokemon from A to Z, because I put the IV of the Pokemon at the beginning of the name, when you sort them I'm struggling to speak here, alphabetically, you can see. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna. Okay then. So I've used plus MIS here, and that will give me not only Mischievous, but all of the different evolutions. In this case, it doesn't really matter because the different evolutions also have a name beginning with MIS. But if you were, for example, looking at Pikachu, let me just show you what that would look like. If I do a search for Pikachu, okay, so here I'm only getting Pikachus. I'm not getting Pichus or Raichus. But if I did a search here for plus Pikachu, okay, so I can see here all of my different Pikachu evolutions. And let me just have a look at the top. So I have a 96 Raichu here. And I have a 96 Pikachu. Okay, so by putting these into alphabetical order, I can see more easily what would be worth evolving and not worth evolving. So this Pikachu is a 96 and it's male. And it's probably not worth evolving for me because I already have a normal Raichu without a hat or anything like that that has an IV of 96 and is male. So I would know just from looking at the screen that I wouldn't need to evolve this one, for the way that I play Pokemon Go. If this Pikachu were female, then very quickly from looking at this screen, I would be able to see that I don't have any Pikachus evolved that have a higher IV than the one that I've got, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to scroll down the list here and see what I've got, whether I've got any others. So yeah, quite quickly I can see here I've got a couple of female Pikachus. And, I could probably happily delete this second one. Although I'm never happy to delete Pikachus. But yeah, I think this is quite a clear and an easy way of sorting through your Pokemon and deciding, which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to evolve, and which ones you want to transfer to the professor to, grind up into candy. So let's get back to my Mistrevises here that I've scanned. And there you go. I've got this 64 female Mistrevis. And I can scroll up here and see whether... There you go. I've got an 82 above that. And an 87. So I guess she can be ground up. I'm going to transfer her away. And now I have one more space in my bag. So yeah, I like using Poke Genie to do this because it only takes a second or two longer to scan the Pokemon with Poke Genie and to get all that extra information. Pasting that information into the name is super easy. I've tried this using different keyboards, so if you use it on some other keyboards on Android, you might have to long press on it and click paste to put that to put the custom name back into the name field. But for the Google keyboard that I'm using, it will actually just pop up the pasted item, and you tap it once, and it will paste the name in. So anyway, I'm going to go back to Poke Genie, and I'll just show you how this works. So when you first get Poke Genie, you have to tell them your trainer level, and you have to tell them what team you're on. And I think that is so that they can properly calculate the level of the Pokemon. The thing is, if you are leveling up, you will have to update this. So if you have gone from being a level 30 trainer to a level 31, you have to remember to go back into Poke Genie to update that. And it does keep a list of all of your scanned Pokemon, which is quite cool. You'll notice here that I have 3,877 scans. I don't have that many Pokemon. What that means is that when you scan Pokemon, even if you transfer the Pokemon to the professor, Poke Genie won't automatically delete those scans. For me, I think that keeping Poke Genie up to date, as in going through Poke Genie and deleting every Pokemon that I've scanned, that I've since transferred to the professor, I think that's kind of more trouble than it's worth. So I just leave this as is. There's also a battle simulator. So if we just jump back into Pokemon Go right now, you'll see there's a bunch of raids going on. It is raid hour on Wednesday evening right now. And there's a bunch of raids going on. We've got a mega raid going on over here, which I might want to jump into later. But in Poke Genie, it will tell you who the current raid bosses are. And there is this battle simulator. So let me just tap this down here, find top counters. Excuse me. And it will look through my listed Pokemon and see what it thinks my best counters are. I don't really use this battle simulator very much. It's cool to have. And if you do have a particularly difficult raid boss to beat, then this might give you some tips as to which Pokemon you might want to use. I haven't really used it that much. One nice feature here is that it tells you that you are absolutely unable to solo this raid. So if you are thinking about doing this one, you might want to wait till you can find a friend. But yeah, that is cool. It is a feature that I don't use, but it's still here. And this is the name generator. Okay, so the way that I've got this set up is, okay, so if you look at the top here, there's a Bulbasaur, 73 Bulbasaur male. Okay, so I have set up a rule where it will show you the minimum IV of that Pokemon first, followed by the name and followed by the gender. If you were to do the scan without going into the appraisal screen, there could be a range of IVs for a Pokemon. But normally, once you've gone into the appraisal screen, Poke Genie is pretty good at picking the exact IV for your Pokemon. But what this would do is it would give you kind of like the minimum IV for that Pokemon. That's the one that it would choose. But yeah, it would put the IV first, then the name, and then the gender. But I have actually set up some rules here. and I'm not sure, I set this up ages ago, so I'm not sure exactly where it is. Please wait. No, it's not here. Um, I have set up some rules. So if I find a perfect IV Pokemon, a 4-star Pokemon, um, it will generate a different kind of a name. And that's just there as a placeholder so that I know straight away that this is a perfect Pokemon. To be honest, when you jump into the appraisal screen, it will uh, you'll know pretty soon anyway. Um, and then I've got this rule down here where if a Pokemon has a potential PvP IV of greater than 95%, um, it will give me a name telling me whether it's suitable for Great League or Ultra League, and then it will put the PvP IV at the end of the name. So I know that sounds a little bit complicated. You would probably start just using one template. There are some preset templates, but I changed it a little bit. So let me just show you the preset template. Um, when you first get the app, it would put the name of the Pokemon first, and then it would put the IV after that. I prefer it the other way around, just so that I can do that sorting and I can sort them into the order of IV. Okay, so that's my preset. That's how I've got that set up. Um, there is now a backup and restore function, which is pretty cool. So what it can do, um, I use Poke Genie on my mobile phone and on my tablet, and they both maintain separate lists of Pokemon. And the rules as well, the name generator rules, are also separate on whatever devices you have. You can back up all of that information to Dropbox and then download it onto whatever other device you use. So previously I had, you know, 3,000 scans on my phone and I only had 100 or so on the tablet. I've since backed up all of those and restored them over here. So that's pretty smooth. Okay then. And here are the upgrades. So this app is free to download on Google Play. Um, I think that I paid, I can't remember exactly how much that I paid, but I did pay to remove ads. And there is another upgrade here called Battle Pro that I haven't purchased yet. Um, Largely because I don't use the battle simulator very much. I might get this upgrade later on. I like the app and I would like to support the developers a little bit more. So I'm probably going to get this Battle Pro upgrade later on. I mean, the developers are really good. I remember when my phone updated from, I think it was from Android 10 to Android 11. And the way that the updated version of Android handled screen recording was different to the previous version. And Poke Genie suddenly stopped working. And the app developers, they updated it really, really quickly. I remember, I think I sent them a Twitter message, and very soon there was an updated version of the app that worked on the updated version of Android. So yeah, the developers are really good. It does work very well on Android. That said, I don't know how smooth the whole process is on iOS. I remember using IV calculators on iPhone a couple of years ago, and it was quite difficult to do. Back then, you would have to take a screenshot of your Pokemon and then import that screenshot into the IV calculator app, and then do the calculation that way. And it wasn't quite as smooth a process as the one that they have on Poke Genie on Android right now. So I don't know whether the iOS version of Poke Genie has all of these features or not, but you know, the Android version does, and it's really good. So yeah, I think that's just about everything that I wanted to cover. I think you can try Poke Genie. Not all of these features are available for people who get Poke Genie for free. So if you get the free version, I was just looking here. Hold on a second. Okay then. So there's this new IVision feature that automatically scans your Pokemon. And it says here, okay, Unlimited use is unlocked with the Scan Pro plus Remove Ads upgrade. Um, yeah, so it says here that session time is limited in the free version. I don't know exactly what that means because I've had the paid version of this app for quite a while, and I'm not sure what features you would get in the free version and what features you need to pay for now. Um, if you want, you could download the free version first and see, whether it's suitable for you. For the way that I play Pokemon Go, I just want to collect all the different types and varieties of Pokemon. And then I want to make sure that the Pokemon that I've got have got the highest IVs that they can get. So for me, it's pretty useful, and it doesn't add too much in the way of it doesn't add too much extra work when catching and scanning Pokemon. So let me just have a look. We'll just try this with a nearby Pokemon. I'm not going to do the raids right now. Okay then. So we're going to catch this little Skitty here. Oh god. Okay. Please wait a moment. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. So we now have Skitty. And I'm just going to see whether this... Yep, it's popped up straight away. So I can see here that my Skitty has an IV of between 22 and 38%. And that it would be pretty terrible for Great League and Ultra League. But let's get a more accurate readout there. Okay then, 31%. And I'm going to pop the name in. Okay, now I'm just going to go and have a look at my other Skitties. They've changed the way of getting into the Pokedex now. I never used to go to the Pokedex, but now you can jump in right from here. You can see all your evolutions, and then I can jump back in here and see all my Skitties. So again, I've got these listed from A to Z, and yeah, there's not much point in keeping this Skitty. So I'm going to send her off to the professor. He's going to grind her up into candy that I can then feed to my other Pokemon. And that is that. So yeah, try Poke Genie and see if it is useful to you. And I'll catch you next time.